if my mom had Us magazine or my sister, I mean, I would
Us Weekly,
totally, totally thumb through it. Yeah, it takes like 2 seconds to read, by the way.
And also, we were talking about White Lotus, and I was calling her Michelle.
Moynihan.
Yeah, you like pronounced it right, probably.
That's because I have a tremendous crush and
Oh,
always
okay.
have.
You've been studying it.
Well, I don't know. She's married.
Wait, so was that more like, was that a cooler moment for you because there was a moment with the White Lotus where they said they were copying.
I thought that was incredibly funny, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that it exists. Let's put it that way.
And that they know about, that means they like the cast, like they know about y'all.
They do, and Mike White does, and
Cameo.
It's very nice. It's very nice. And of course, it's not exactly complimentary. Like, it's like, here's a crazy family. They're just like you. And you're like, well, but I'll take it.
I'll take whatever you can get.
No, I mean, it's just funny. And you know what else it tells you a little bit, I guess, is that acting's hard. And to have like a touchstone to work off of would be incredibly helpful, I would think.
Yeah.
I don't get me started. I was in a movie and I was so bad, and I was like, acting's hard. Like,
wait, when? First of all, by the way, Shep, everyone listening to this that knows my acting story knows that I came to the same exact conclusion. Acting is hard.
Yeah.
Like being on set all day, trailer life.
Lines, you got to memorize the lines. Not only, so in your mind, you're like, what am I going to say next? But you also have to emote whatever the line is saying.
Wait, when did you do this?
Okay, well, it was a friend of my, a hometown friend's father produced a movie in the Low Country in South Carolina. And he was like, yeah, did you want to be in it? And I was like, well, what are 2 roles? You're like, you could be a bartender or a banker. And I was like, which one's better? And he said banker. And I should have been the bartender. Let's put it that way.
You should have been that would be more.
I was like, foreclosures are way up. I was like, what am I talking about?
Wait, is this out in the world?
Yeah, it was on like Hallmark Channel, I think.
Stop.
Yeah.
It how old were you?
This was a couple years ago.
Oh,
yeah.
What's it called?
Well, I know what the working title was, which is really funny. It was called The Final Load.
Was it supposed to be scary?
No, it's about like a drug deal gone awry.
Oh my God.
And it's
I can't believe you chose banker. Like, see? You need some guidance sometimes.
Well, yeah. And so I left being like, wow, like these guys.
Did it take you a full day to film that scene?
Well, it's funny. No, it didn't. It was a pretty short day, but it was still funny, man. I don't know. I was hoping it got cut, but it exists out there somewhere.
Did the Bravo fandom find it?
I don't know. I wanted them to. I asked them to film it, like, because we were filming at the time.
Yeah. Oh.
And we did, and it never went anywhere, unfortunately, because there was too much going on.
Oh.
Sometimes that's a like. Yeah. You're like, oh, but that scene I was in was so good and so like hilarious and ridiculous.
Did you would you take it as far as to like text the producer, be like, what about that day we shot my movie?
Yeah.
You do. And then they would just tell you it's not.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you just kind of find out the hard way, which is you're like, oh, if it didn't happen that episode, then it's not going to see the light of day.
So that was one of the moments. Do you have any other moments like that you wish made the
show?
So
many, I can't even describe it.
Really?
So many, yeah.
Like more that show us other stuff that you do.
Just more funny, just silly, goofy, stuff
they did
really proud of.
You know, they did show, I think there was like an Instagram post about, or the girls posted, like how much fun they were having.
I saw that.
Like when you guys went on Vacay and like what we see. It was kind of like what we see versus like the actual fun you're having.
There's a show to be made, and everything can't make it. And you kind of learn that the hard way. And and then you're so egocentric, or we all are, I suppose. You think, oh, that how could you cut that scene with me?
Right.
And you're like, well, you actually have to get to know these other people too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So funny.
This season, Shepherd, was pretty loco for you.
Yeah. Yeah. You think so?
I mean, I think in a funny way.
Good.
For us.
That's all I want.
But for you, were you able to look at it like now that you're when did you film it? Was it a year ago?
Yeah, quite literally started filming in April of last year and got done in June.
So are you over the Sienna thing? Was it okay for you to watch it and not totally?
Yeah, it was tough to watch. And it's tough to be a part of. But I don't know. I'm sort of proud that I was completely upfront and honest and said what I wanted to say and what I felt at the moment. And how can that be a bad thing? You know, especially in the reality TV world. Like, and by the way, I don't distinguish between the two. I'm the
Okay.
same damn way. You know, what
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not an actor.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible actor, actually. I mean, I'm honest to a fault, and you know, and by that I mean, if you're my friend and I did something embarrassing, like I'm probably going to tell you about it, even though I'd probably be smart not to. You know what I mean?
What can you tell us about Sienna that we don't know? So you met so you said you started shooting in April. When did you meet? When did you connect?
Um, okay, we connected in August the year prior.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, and we had uh like a bunch of different weekends where we met up and had a lot of fun.
Mostly in the Bahamas?
No,
Mostly
no.
she came to you?
Charleston, Savannah, or sorry, Hilton Head, where I'm from. Parents were gone. I had a house party. Austin was there with his girlfriend, Audrey, and Rod and Tyler were there. So it was kind of, this is before, cameras were not around. Those are just my friends.
Oh, and they met her from before.
Yeah, and everyone loved her. And
what was her connection to the South, though? Does she have family there?
No, I mean, she's like 6th generation Bahamian.
So she came for you.
Yeah, it's actually quite fascinating. I don't know if this means anything to anybody, but she was like, "Did you know when we first met in Charleston? She came to Charleston. She's like, my great grandfather was the mayor of a small town in South Carolina, and
Wow.
he was a loyalist to the crown and had to escape to the Bahamas, and that's how this whole thing started."
Oh, wow.
I was like, "That's fascinating. I love history, by the way."
So you connected on Raya.
Yeah.
But
And
every
then-
time she came to the South, you were the reason she was coming, because why
Correct.
else would she come?
Correct.
So she was into this at some point at the beginning.
Totally. No, I mean, in the timeline. So then I went down to the Bahamas. I met her mom, her sister, and we went out on a boat and waded up to a bar and played volleyball on the beach and had a grand old time. And then she came up to my mountain house, my family's mountain house, and she brought a friend, and I brought a couple friends, and we had a grand old time. But we had like a little bit of a falling out that was like so stupid, but it was just something that we just got in a little argument. I said, I don't see things that way. And she goes, well, you know, and so I said, let's just take a step back, because I really enjoyed hanging out with you. And I don't want to have a bad taste in our mouth if we just, you know, and she's like, okay. And then she got back to me a month and a half later. We just kind of took a break. And she's like, I actually feel pretty strongly. And, you know, I think there's a way we can reconcile. I was like, I feel really strongly too. Like, let's give it another shot.
But she reached out first after this.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's surprising given what we saw.
Exactly. And that's okay. And
You're okay with it.
Because I know what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Really.
Think whatever you think. That's okay.
She's obviously gorgeous.
Yeah.
But like, when I was watching the episodes with her, I was like, she's really not giving much. Like, did we see the woman that you like fell for so hard? Was it like just the physical stuff?
No, it was great. I mean, we went out west skiing, which was hilarious because we went to a tough mountain, Jackson Hole, and it's not for beginners. And I was like, "Are you sure you can handle this?" And it was pretty funny. We laughed about that a lot because she spent a lot of time on her back, just like her poles spread out everywhere and her skis. And I was like trying to help her.
So you had like a lot of experience together. And
we had a lot of fun. And then Palm Beach, and then Charleston, and then out of nowhere, this sort of just coldness and distance. And I mean, it's going to come out in the reunion. When does this come out?
The reunion is this week, right? Is it a 1-part or a 2-part reunion?
It's probably a 2-parter.
Okay. So this will come out next week.
Anyways, I don't think I'm stepping out of bounds at all, saying that she met someone else in the period between when we saw each other and when we were going down to the Bahamas.
Got you. And never did she say that.
No, she couldn't say it for some reason. I wish she had. I would have actually been okay with that. I mean, I would have sucked. I mean, it sucked. I knew. I mean, I'm not a dummy. You know, I've been around the block a few times.
Oh my God, I was trying to think. Like, I always wonder what's gaslighting and what isn't. She may have been like gaslighting you a little bit, because the way it looked like you were saying all the stuff that happened, what you just said. There was a timeline. You had history. You met up. You met her family. You went away together. Blah blah. We're seeing this episode of her looking at you like, you crazy? Like, we're not. dating. And then
That's wild.
you look crazy.
Yeah, I
like
know.
you look crazy in those episodes professing love and all these things where
Yeah.
she's saying, we hung out. It sounds like she's saying, we hung out a couple times, like chill out.
Like
Which you're saying that wasn't the case.
Yeah, like 6 long weekends over a 6-month period. I don't know. I mean, is that nothing? It feels like something. I don't do that a lot.
When she went away with you, were you paying for everything?
That was a point of contention but yes is the answer.
Yeah.
For the most part, she hooked it up in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was a plane ticket situation where she expected everything, you know. And I was like, well, I don't want to pay for the privilege to hang out with anybody, honestly. Like, I'll take care of everything. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
But like a little meet in the middle situation.
Yeah.
And
like you didn't want her to maybe assume.
And I think that was a cultural difference. If you want to know the truth, I don't know. You know, I think that, and I, you know, so I guess that's but you know, like I love it when girls like, I'll meet you there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's
like it's chill.
That's by the way, that's empowering too,
Yeah.
right? Like you don't have, you know what I mean? I don't know. So I don't really.
Was that the point of contention you were talking about before that you had a little thing about?
Yeah, because she was supposed to come up to the mountains and I a day before, and I'd hired a car to go get her and her friend, and I was like, get on the same flight as him, and you know, then I'll get the car to come and blah blah blah. And a day before, she was like, "Hey, I've been really busy. Can you just grab my flight?" The day before, and that rubbed me. I did. It rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, "That's reckless, almost, in my opinion." You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's annoying. I've been really busy. Can you just do it? Did you do it?
I did.
But then you were mad about it.
I waited to after the weekend and mentioned something to her.
Okay.
And we both were like, "Hold on."
Do you think that maybe started the kind of?
No, that was before the reconciliation. That was right before.
Got you.
And then, yeah. So then things were going well with the skiing and this and then that, Palm Beach.
And she also wanted you to come out to the Bahamas with all your friends.
Oh yeah, she was super excited. Excited about the cast trip being in the Bahamas. She's like, I'm going to talk to the head of tourism and we're going to do this. You get.
And then nothing happened.
And then something
Met
happened.
somebody.
Something happened. And I mean, that's not for me to say, but I mean,
how did you find this out?
I came back from Europe, and
you're traveling all the time, Shep.
I love it. My parents and brother and sister and their whole families, we got a house near Sorrento, Italy.
Oh, fun.
And I first went to London to see some people and then went to Italy. By the way, like, so after the Bahamas trip, it was like, you could have knocked me over the feather. I was just like emotionally spent. And so, you know, it was just a lot. And so I kind of cut it off and I didn't think about it much. I mean, of course you think about it some, but you're just like, okay, you know, if that's the way it was going to be handled, then I'm in a good position. You know?
Like you weren't the one that did something wrong.
I didn't. My conscience is clear, that kind of thing. And not that anyway. So I come back from Europe, and I get a phone call from either Austin or Whitney, and it was like, "Hey," I was like, "What's up?" He's like, "You're back on stateside." Yeah. Well, I'm not sure I want to tell you this, but she's dating an NFL football player. She just posted that on TikTok. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. And so I said, you know, I sent her a text like, you know, nothing hateful. I was just like, guess I had to find this out somehow, some way, you know? And so anyhow.
And what was her response to that?
She said something to the effect of like, I was a storyline. I can't believe that. I said, no, you weren't. I said, I came down to the Bahamas to do a bit of a coronation of our relationship. It was going to be amazing. Like, there was no negative or nefarious intentions on my part. Are you crazy? Like,
and if she knew she was going to be a storyline, she could have, you know, maybe she's a better actress than you. Maybe she should have then been like, okay, a little bit.
It was not like that. And you know what? To her credit, she's like, you're right. I'm sorry. I wish I could change a lot of different things. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, thanks for at least saying that. And then we haven't really talked since.
And is she still with a guy?
I can't answer that because I don't know.
You don't know?
I heard no.
You heard no. I hear, I haven't been like following her personally, but I do hear that she's been like, you know, she does want to have a online presence, if you will.
Yeah.
Right?
She went about it pretty not the right way. I was
Right.
yeah.
But like, did that worry you at all in dating her at the beginning? Like I'm sure have to
No, I would tell
navigate
her.
that.
I was like, you only have X amount of followers. I was like, you're traveling the world and modeling. I was like, I mean, I've got some suggestions. You should be a bigger deal, I think.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you would be supportive of her getting like bigger on social media and helped her.
Absolutely.
But you didn't think ever that maybe that was one of the reasons she was like with you, or
Well, I mean, that's a lot to go through. Or, not go through, but like that's a lot of effort just to get a few more followers or a
Yeah.
few thousand more followers. So no,
you didn't?
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that like it's a brave new world. Like like a lot of people are, I mean, followers are currency, I get
Yeah.
it, and it's not like I pandered. I got lucky, I fell into the Bravo
Right.
world. And so I can probably guarantee you if I wasn't on Bravo, I would have like a couple 3,000 followers because I'm not like diligent about it.
Yeah, about like posting and stuff.
Yeah. I'm not giving anybody my makeup tips.
This episode is sponsored by Saks Fifth Avenue. Not that I need to tell you about it because we're all equally obsessed. Some things in life, they just hit different. Like when you find the outfit, like when you know, like when you find the one that makes you feel like you have your life together. Even if, let's be real, you definitely don't. That's what Saks does. They have the best designers, the ones you actually care about, the best selection, and pieces that make you go, wait, am I about to be the best dressed person in the room? Spoiler alert, you are. So whether you need a little retail therapy or you're dressing for I need my ex to regret the fact that he broke up with me or ghosted me moment, Saks has got you covered. They have just amazing inspiration for like your weekend looks, your office looks, your hosting a dinner party looks, your going out tops, which like as millennials, we're still allowed to say. Okay. And spring is upon us, you guys. It's officially spring. So let Saks help you curate a spring closet refresh that upgrades your every day, your agenda, your date nights, your impromptu vacations, or lounging in style, which is what I do. So if you're like me and you're looking for amazing finds that are chic and stylish and fun and easy, then head to Saks for inspiring ways to upgrade your personal style every day. Shop Saks.com. This episode is supported by FX's Dying for Sex, a new show starring Michelle Williams and Jenny Slate. Oh my God, I love them both so much. Inspired by a true story, this series follows Molly, who after receiving a terminal cancer diagnosis, decides to leave her husband to explore the full breadth of her sexual desires. Love that. She gets the courage and support to go on the sex quest from her best friend, Nikki, who stays by her side through it all. FX's Dying for Sex, all episodes streaming April 4th on Hulu.
What was the deal with Whitney? Because you guys didn't really explain it on the show. Her and Whitney also connected on Raya?
Yes, before me.
So she swiped right on him or whatever?
I guess.
Did that not red flag you?
No. What?
Really?
I didn't know her. Like, she thought
Yeah, but like, she could be dating people her age.
That's true. Who knows what people are into? I don't care. I'm older than her too.
You are?
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 27 now. I think she's 26 when we did.
And you're like super smart guy. We talked about you read for fun.
I do.
You're into politics.
Yeah, I just read a Cormac McCarthy novel. I really liked it. The Road.
It's cool for you. Suggestions, you guys, your next book club.
Well, it's dystopian, but go ahead.
Don't you want to look for somebody that's into those same things?
Yeah, no, she's smart, man.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say she wasn't, but she's just younger and maybe like.
She's very educated, fun to talk to. There's a reason I felt that way. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
She is gorgeous.
And you couldn't, that is a definite, exotic.
Yeah.
And I said this on the show, I think. Like there was a part of me, it was like a fantasy, like, like this is like, maybe this is what I'm supposed to do. Have this like another life in another country. And I love the Bahamas, man. I love fishing and surfing and all that stuff. So
yeah, like, maybe you built up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
you know how your
girls
mind
do a lot of times.
Yeah, girls do too. Guys do too. Girls need to know that. Like we're thinking ahead too.
Depends with who. Sometimes you
Depends with who. Yeah. Sometimes we're trying to leave the situation, but so are girls.
Right. So this, you built that like fantasy, and especially for you, because maybe like you're not so sure about like the settling down, having a family, staying in the South. Like this was like,
This
oh, I
was
could
like
be.
this is the anti-white picket fence,
Yeah,
right? And which I don't disdain it, but I've scoffed at it before.
Yeah, maybe you have a little anti with it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the shark necklace for a minute.
Okay.
I first of all, on her, everything looks good. So she puts it on and you're like, oh, cute. So, link it or whatever.
Yeah.
But where did this come from?
My friend, my good friend
Sold you on it.
No, it's her company. She goes and she hunts for shark's teeth and makes jewelry. My family were huge Shark Week aficionados. Like we'd sit together as a family and watch it. And I just love sharks. I know a lot about sharks, weirdly. I have a lot of books about sharks. So
Okay.
I get excited about like anything shark related.
Yeah, but you're getting this for a girl, not for you.
But I think it's cool. What girl wouldn't want a great white shark's tooth necklace? Is that
girl would.
really? Okay, I don't know.
I feel
Again,
like we'd like diamonds more, gold more.
Yeah, like a reason 10,000 why I don't know anything about the opposite sex.
And how weird though that you got Taylor a different shark.
Yes, different shark.
Different shark. But like you got the same.
Well, Taylor knows the
Are you
person.
getting a discount with this friend?
A little bit. Foxy Fossils. That's what it's called.
Oh, I love we're shouting her out.
Yeah, sure.
So you're getting a discount.
She's a good person.
She hunts for that. Wait, she hunts for sharks like
yeah,
kills
she
them,
walks
though?
the beach. No, there are a lot of washed up. I mean,
Oh, ones that are already dead.
yeah, they're washed up in the sand.
Does she
There's
pull out their
places
teeth?
no, the teeth fall out. Did you know that sharks lose teeth at an alarming rate? No, there's not a dead shark being detoothed. Yeah, they have rows of teeth because they're always falling out, and then they invariably make it to the shore.
Like
Yeah, like
layers.
Correct, and they're always regenerating teeth.
Oh, so
sharks.
she finds them.
She finds old.
I'm not
shark
saying
teeth.
it's not a cool concept.
Okay.
I'm saying maybe the next girlfriend gets a different present.
Yes, maybe.
But Madison,
maybe a gift certificate.
Madison said something to you, like off the cuff. You didn't really stay on it, but she said something like, "You're not rich enough for her," and you kind of were like, "Am I not?" Okay, like you kind of took it at face value.
I felt that.
You felt that?
Yeah.
That if you were maybe like flying her out first class everywhere you
status, yeah. And I said that at some point to her. I was like, "Look, I don't have a private jet, and I've got nice stuff and I like to do nice things." I was like, my family, like we fly first class only on long flights, and we don't drive Mercedes and stuff like that. That's just not who we are.
Like a Skoda?
A Buick.
A Buick. Yeah, you.
That's just not how the generationally that's just like a big no-no in my family. Like ostentatious, flashy.
Got you.
Yeah.
It's like old money v new money.
Yeah, just get what you need, don't
also like your house, like even the mountain house, like nothing is like flashy.
Yeah, opulent. Yeah.
Gaudy. Opulent. You know what? Now you're bringing me back with all these big words. Opulent, I know. I didn't know the first one. What was the first
Gaudy.
one? No, that I know.
Ostentatious.
Oh, that I knew. Maybe opulent I didn't.
Opulent, yeah.
What does that mean?
Just over the top and gold plated kind of
Love
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember watching you like from season 1, and I always thought your vocab was like so impressive.
Thanks, Mom.
And that's from reading.
It's from reading and Mom.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I thought you were calling me Mom.
Oh,
like
no.
it's a mom comment.
No.
Oh, thanks to your mom.
Mom. Yeah, like at the dinner table, it was vocab tests basically.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole time you're on this vacation, your ex Taylor is there,
which is really awkward.
Might I say, she handled it classy as fuck.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
No. There was a big argument that didn't get aired, not between me and her. I think Taylor, the Taylor I met and I dated is very sympathetic, empathetic, sweet, kind, and all those things. So I agree with you. She handled it better
like
than
sitting
can
at
be.
that table and seeing.
I could tell that was not okay. Like I felt that, and I was sitting there. I'd look over, and I was just like, "This isn't fair," basically. But
yeah,
it's okay.
awkward.
Well, I mean, and I guess it helped that she kind of knew that things were on the rocks, and she just
Right.
was like, "Well, look,
Yeah, it would feel worse for her if like Sienna was like professing her love back. That
It
would
would
have
be
been more.
bad.
Here she was kind of like,
see you later."
yeah, but also it must have hurt that maybe she hadn't felt that love from you, like that kind of like
know, guess.
strong fighting for you love.
No telling what was going through her mind. I agree with that.
But what was the fight you were talking about?
Oh, it was between Sally and Taylor. You know, just
Oh, about
it's
the.
about everything, you know. But it was, I guess, you know, I'm okay with that not making it, frankly, because it's kind of
Was it about you?
no.
Oh.
It was just you know, I was just like, oh God, we kind of all are, but you know, you have this moment, that moment, and I'd rather skew towards humor and wittiness.
So seeing your text to Sienna
Yeah.
with the freckled lips, getting like really just like ripped apart, talked about, like cringe-a-lange, like all the things.
Sure.
How did that make you feel watching it?
I mean, I probably was a little too verbose on the text. Should have trimmed that down. I need an editor. So yeah, but it was tough, man. I mean, it's hard to explain. Because like this whole trip was riding on me being like, it was again supposed to be sort of a coronation, right? And it was totally not that. So it's
Yeah.
stressful.
You were stressed.
And I couldn't sleep, and everyone else was asleep. So what do you do at 6:30 a.m. while you know no one's up for 2 more hours? You maybe get some breakfast, and then you're like, I have these things I want to say to her, because I was convinced that like she was ignoring the way that we felt about each other 2 weeks prior.
Yeah.
2 weeks. And I was like, are you sure? You know, I was almost like trying to shake her a little
Yeah.
bit, like, hey, come on, like
Yeah.
all these things, you know, and that she lost that love and feeling, just like that song by the Everly Brothers.
What do you think about the commentators saying? Because like I, for one, when I posted about watching, I said like that I feel so bad for you, you know, in that situation because
Yeah.
I'm human. There's another human, you know, hurting. I feel bad.
Okay.
A lot of the Bravo fans, like we talked about before, have a lot of opinions.
Sure.
And they were kind of like, he's getting a taste of his own medicine. How do you take that?
I agree.
Really?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. And I mean, I'd like to think I'm not sort of pull the rug out from underneath someone capriciously like that.
Yeah.
But I've been not so great in the past.
Yeah.
And I believe in the karmic universe. And I wasn't angry about feeling that way. I was hurt, but I was like, I don't know if you've heard like these quotes, like it makes you feel alive, you know, and it humbles you, and it shows you that if everything went your way all the time, what kind of life is that? I mean, I don't know. There's some people, I guess you could ask that too, but it teaches you a lot, you know, when things don't go your way. And yeah, so I think I came out better because
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Your friends were trying to help you there. Do you think Craig was very much adamant about what you should and shouldn't do?
He was callous, to say the least.
Do you say, was he too hard on you?
I just think he was just, I mean, it's funny because at first, when this was all going down, like before we went to the Bahamas, Austin was like, nope, this isn't the one, you know, this isn't right. And Craig was like, I don't know, like, you know, and so those roles reverse, which I find kind of funny looking back.
Did you take it as he's being a good friend, or were you like, calm down, like, let me live my life?
Well, I was like, Craig, man, like, I didn't ask for this, but here we are, you know, like, I'm sorry your vacation's being a little bit hindered by, you know, my drama, and trust me, go do whatever you like and go have fun. But I was so mixed up in the head that I wasn't thinking right. That's for sure.
And sometimes you have to just learn it on your own, not because someone told you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about falling asleep on the beach?
It turns out a lot of the people were right. And by that, I mean, I didn't know what to invite her to. I felt responsible, and I mean, we were there because of her. So I had this like, does she want? What is she? And she was, you know, like, what are you guys doing? And I was just like, but it turns out if she was at everything that we did, it would have like totally sort of screwed the trip up.
Yeah.
I feel like, because there are other people, and I'm not the center of the universe.
And it was awkward in moments where like you were already on the rocks with her, she wasn't answering the tag, whatever, and then she was invited to the dinner. Or something.
That's right. But I had fun. Against all odds on like the boat trip, because I got to laugh and think about other things and jump in the ocean, which is like a favorite pastime of mine.
What happened with the falling asleep on the beach?
Oh yeah. It was a long day.
What night was that?
That was the night after the dinner, maybe. Just a long day.
Dinner.
Yeah, it was just a long day. And I ran out of gas and fell asleep on a beach chair.
Like on the beach chair.
Yeah.
Did you wake up in the morning or in the middle of the night?
I woke up at like 5:30 a.m. and couldn't go back to sleep. Ta-da,
Were you super drunk?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was drowning my sorrows.
I feel like you got like fitter, right?
I did.
Like going into this season even, we see you like more into...
I was been working out a lot, and I like exercise, and I have a trainer, and I really like him. By the way, he's Austin and Craig's trainer too. We don't always go together, but when we do, we have a lot of fun.
How many times a week do you work out?
If I'm in town, 4 to 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And before, were you working out at all?
Not much.
Really?
No. And I eat like poke bowls and and fish and grilled chicken, and like I just think about it,
Really?
Yeah. And I lost like 20 pounds.
Of course, men do the least and just lose. Like no more like chocolate. That's it. You lose 20 pounds.
Yeah, no more like pizza. Even though I'll break down and eat some pizza every now and then.
And what about the drinking?
I cut down, and I'm happy to say that. It's not a perfect landing. Old habits die hard, but I'm hard on myself. And I'm really thinking about it in certain situations where before it was like, you want to make an omelet, you got to break some eggs kind of thing. And I'm not like that anymore. And I still fuck up. I fully understand that. And I'm just trying to minimize all that and try to be the best version. But it's not, and I think about it a lot, if one day it's like, this is too much, then I'll have that honest, tough conversation with myself, but it's crazy. These days, I don't know if you know this, like the alcohol sales have dipped dramatically. This next generation of people aren't
drinking.
Doing it. But boy, our parents and at least mine, like that was it. You got a case of beer or a bottle of whiskey and see where the night took you kind of thing. So it's interesting how things are changing.
Now when you're not drinking, you don't. Usually when someone doesn't drink, the old thing would be like, are you pregnant? Or if it's a guy or whatever, it's like, oh, are you sober? Like, do you have a problem? Now it's like so many people just order a soda,
and they're California sober. So.
The California sober or whatever.
So it's interesting. The tide is turning in that way. And I was talking about this to my friend who's sober. I've got a few friends that are sober that they were the most fun guys. Like
how do I say it? in the past. Now they're not anymore. Huh?
No, well they moved on to another phase, and they're still funny as hell. But we just had some wild times, and I was like, what happened? Like, I don't remember our parents' friends, like people talking about them. Maybe it was just, hey, that's the crazy dad's friend who's here at the dinner party. It's not making much sense.
Yeah.
I was like, isn't it like, and he was like, yeah. He's like, people were way more sweeping things under the rug for many years there. Yeah. I'm just happy that it's being talked about. And
Craig talked about it on the show.
Yeah. I mean, I follow John Mayer talks about it a lot, and a lot of Josh Brolin, Brad Pitt, there's all these.
Oh, right. Yeah. They're all kind of sober.
It's pretty wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
are you afraid you wouldn't
Bradley Cooper? Yeah.
Sober?
Yeah.
Are you afraid you wouldn't have as much fun if you weren't drinking?
I mean, yeah, that's a fear.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty talkative as it is.
As you
can see. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's a thing where I've been thinking when I'm home, at least, take 6 days off twice a month, and just like totally just chill out.
Is it just drinking when you go out?
Yeah, I don't drink by myself at home.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So it's just going out.
And it's being in bars, a lot.
Yeah.
And which is easy to do in Charleston. especially when football season's happening, stuff like that.
I know it's wild. I started being a workout girly. It happened. It's weird for me too. I am freaking working out 3 times a week, you guys. Who am I? And when I started working out, I was wearing like my PJs, and then I was like, oh no, I need actual like active wear. So that's when I was introduced to Rhoback. And if you aren't familiar with Rhoback, they are an activity athleisure brand that really is starting to make a splash in the women's space. They just dropped 2 brand new women's products, and trust me, they are the perfect essentials for warmer weather. First, meet the Sydney Skort. Whether you're hitting the court, playing tennis, hiking the trails, or just out and about, the Skort moves with you effortlessly and obviously protects you with those built-in shorts, has extra coverage and support. And don't worry, it's got functional pockets. Because what's a Skort without pockets? Like, you need pockets on everything. A dress too, okay? Speaking of a dress, there's the everyday active dress. This one is a total game changer. It's the perfect mix of style and performance. It's made to keep up with your morning workout, take you straight to school drop-off, or to a casual lunch or even dinner. The breathable, moisture-wicking fabric keeps you comfy all day long, while the sleek fit is flattering no matter what. Use the code NOTSKINNY on rhoback.com for a generous 20% off your first order through the end of this week. That's spelled RHOBACK.com. Use the code NOTSKINNY for 20% off. When you have a pet, you love taking care of them because they are part of your family and they take care of you. Even if you're the best pet parent in the world, unpredictable things can happen to our pets. Fortunately, you can always give them the best care with ASPCA Pet Health Insurance. Today's episode is sponsored by the ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program. Your pet is part of the family, so if you have insurance for you, insurance for your husband, partner, kids, you need insurance for your pet. And that way, you won't be stressed out if, God forbid, you need something urgent for your pet. And the ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program really does offer customizable accident and illness plans, making it easier for pet parents to help you get the pet care you need. It's been around for over 18 years, and they've helped more than 600,000 pets during that time. Like I said, you can totally customize your plan, making it as unique as they are, because vet bills can really add up, especially when you're least expecting it. It's simple. You use their app to submit a claim, and you'll receive reimbursement for eligible vet bills directly into your bank account. To explore ASPCA Pet Insurance, go to aspcapetinsurance.com/notskinny. That's aspcapetinsurance.com/notskinny. Again, that's aspcapetinsurance.com/notskinny. This is paid advertisement. Insurance is underwritten by either Independence American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and produced by PTZ Insurance Agency Limited. The ASPCA is not an insurer and is not engaged in the business of insurance. Listen, even if you aren't a clean, green, organic queen, you can start somewhere. You can start with your skincare. So if you're looking to make a change to your skincare and use a clean skincare that's rooted in the good stuff, check out Primally Pure. I'm really, really loving it right now. They're really passionate about providing research-backed, results-driven products without compromising your health. They're really backed by thousands of 5-star reviews and unbelievable before and after pictures. Their products work and create change in your skin while supporting a sense of wellness. Swapping for natural options is a must if you want to feel good and glow from the inside out. And Primally Pure has harnessed the power of natural ingredients in their complete line of non-toxic beauty products. From skin, body, baby, hair, and home. And you can't forget about their cult following natural deodorant. Primally Pure products are handcrafted with real, raw ingredients to optimize your results and your overall health. I would recommend starting with their starter kit, which is priced at $60. You get 3 lip balms, a body butter, a deodorant, and everything spray. Use code NOTSKINNY to get 15% off your Primally Pure purchase. That's www.primally.com and use code NOTSKINNY at checkout for 15% off your order.
Is this the life you could have imagined for yourself? Like being 44?
45.
Wait, you turned 45?
Yeah, I'm 45.
When'd you turn it?
September.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this okay? So this was my life for many years. Well,
when did you start filming? When you were how old?
33 started filming.
Wait, that is literally insane. Southern Charm is on for, I can't do the math, 15.
12. Well, it's been 10 seasons, but it's taken 12 years to film all those because it's just the timeline or whatever. But
like
yeah.
what I always think about revolving doors. You know that movie?
Yeah.
Sliding doors.
Sliding doors.
I always think about that.
Yeah. So
like what would have been? With
so
that?
like when my friends, who we were all wild, I mean, all the weddings were a shit show, and you know, and everybody's getting married and their jobs were getting serious. I guess if this hadn't come along, I'd be like, I'd have to go down that path. Maybe not. I mean, I don't have to get married, but I'd have a job or a 9 to 5 that would really.
Did you have a 9 to 5 before?
I have.
Charm?
I have had. Yeah.
What was it?
I worked for a home builder down in Florida, and then I went to business school and then worked in Dubai for a little bit. And then I tried to start a business, like I franchised this restaurant, and the 1 yard line, I got kind of screwed, and then the show came around. So it's funny how things work, right? One door closes, another opens.
Were you, so Craig has the Sewing Down South.
Yeah.
Austin has the Chop Hop.
Yeah. I started a company called Shep Gear.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I
was it like merch?
It was hats and shirts, and
yeah.
It did okay. To Craig's credit, and he'll admit this. Like I showed him one day my Spotify or Shopify. I was like, "Look how much! It's a pretty good month." And he was like, "Oh my god!" And so when his thing got going, he smartly surrounded himself with some
people,
business-minded folks, and off to the races. So good for him. You know, I wish him and Austin all the best. I just wrote another book, so I'm very excited about that.
When's it coming out?
I don't know yet because I just turned in the first draft. I've got other stuff. I've got a lot of editing to do.
What is it going to be about?
It's about my experience doing ayahuasca in Costa Rica and what led to it and the aftermath. So,
can you give us like a tease? Like what led to it and what's the aftermath?
Well, I mean,
doing it is crazy.
It was just so funny. It was like White Lotus.
Were you by yourself?
Yeah, it was like a little White Lotus-y, right? Like you were surrounded by people you didn't know with different pasts, different opinions and angles.
Is it scary? Are you anxious going into these things?
No, because I mean, I've done a lot of psychedelics, so I've been to some weird places, and so it helped me because it was pretty wild. Some of the visions I had, and I write all about them, and because I had a journal next to me, and I mean, you should see the journal. It's like it's absolutely nonsense.
No,
gibberish.
my God, this is giving me anxiety.
No, but I did 4 nights in a row. That's what you're supposed to do.
What?
Yeah.
So are you ever not tripping
all day
during those? During the day you're not tripping.
Yeah, you're doing like yoga and breathing exercises. Very, very kumbaya.
And then ayahuasca at night. And
then everybody shares their experience, which was fascinating, absolutely fascinating, and also very eye-opening and revelatory because there's so much trauma and pain in this world. You have no idea. Like I am the luckiest SOB on earth. Was one of my takeaways, one of them.
Like you didn't have trauma come up in these things.
Mom and dad, fantastic. God, you couldn't have been better. Brother, sister, thank you. Love you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you are lucky.
Yeah. And I mean,
maybe it's not for you. You're like, I'm good. There's nothing to solve here.
The people that confronted the trauma, it was, I'll give you, I mean, there's so many examples, but I had a grown man cry in my arms the next day because his father was this and he was able to confront that. But he said, but I'm better than ever because of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then just a lot of other stuff that you're just like, oh my God, it gives me goosebumps.
Would you do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the title is after the first night, working title.
After the first night?
First night of doing ayahuasca, I took 4 cups. Of course, I was there for drinking too, like overdoing it with excessive behavior. But they ask you to drink 2, and then they say the bar is open. So after the 4th, I knew like.
Wait, this is shots of ayahuasca?
Yeah, it's little.
So they said do 2, and you
purple,
did 4.
It's like a purple liquid.
So you did 4. They said 2.
They said 2, and then if as much as you want after.
What do you mean as much as you? There was no
because
overdose?
there was like girls there and stuff who like weigh half as much as I do.
Right.
So they're like, we asked you to do 2, but then you can do as many as you want. But like I never did more than 4. That first night I did 4 because I was like, let's see what this is all about,
Did you go down the next nights or go back?
So I go back to my journal. I knew right away that I was like, it was in for it. And I wrote down in my journal, why must I always lick the jar?
Oh, is that the title?
Yeah. And do you like it?
I do.
Yeah. It's Winnie the Pooh with the honey pot stuck on his head. Yeah.
Why must I always lick the jar?
Yeah.
Do we have an answer?
I have another answer that it's what does it mean to follow your heart? I wrote down follow on my chest and drew an arrow to my heart. I was all
when you were tripping. Oh my Jesus!
And I was like, "What
is that? Get it tattooed now."
I know. I thought about it. I don't have any. And do it upside down to the follow, like right there.
Do what
with the way I drew it.
Do what you drew.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Even smaller.
Yeah.
To, like commemorate it.
It's like inside my nipple.
I can't. You could have having someone take a picture. Do you have a picture with it on you?
No.
With the thing you drew.
What I wrote?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it washed away. I sweated and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. The anxiety this brings me, like I could never.
Well, yeah. So yeah, I had some.
And you're like a nervous person. Like your leg shakes all the time.
I'm always like this. I'm a live wire.
Is it anxiety?
No, it's hereditary.
Oh, okay.
My whole mom's side of the family.
Okay, so it's not like you're a nervous person.
No.
You're chill with some shakes.
I always have to move.
Always have to move.
Yeah. ADHD
Did girlfriends
textbook.
ever get annoyed with you?
Oh, yeah.
About
especially
that?
when I sleep because I'm like a jittery sleeper.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Taking it away from ayahuasca for a minute.
Okay.
It came up on my Instagram the other day on the after show. You were verbose.
Yes.
About
I saw that.
Did you regret it? I'll say what it was first, but you went off on Paige.
Not off on her. I just
saying she should have come to the trip.
Yeah, and I should have said it. I mean, you get your point across when you're calm, right? I was just a little fired up. Of course, this was fresh off of Craig's after the breakup. And,
so you were a little angry for him.
Yeah, and I was just like, look, I mean, they're both on a channel and they've done very well for themselves and they dated and I was happy for them. I just wish that I got to know her a little better, You
no,
didn't not really, no.
In the 2.5 years?
Exactly.
How many times have you hung out?
Once or twice.
Really?
Yeah.
With Austin, did she hang out with him more? Oh no? I thought so.
Not according to him. But then they had the drama. Here's the other thing. Craig and Austin were on Winter House and a little bit of Summer House.
Right.
I get if you want to say that, if you want to say that,
if you want to count that,
if you want to say that, that's fine. But
you wish you would have given you guys
a little
more
bit
time.
Yeah, because I love our show. Like that's my baby, and
yeah.
And we're all in this together in the Bravo boat, right? So I think, yeah, I mean, I feel bad when I see Craig at the finale the finale episode. He's looking handsome in a boat in a tie, and he's sitting at the bar by himself. Like that sucks, because that's the girl that you're supposed to. I mean, that you were very into it.
But in her defense, she had like other things going on at each of these things.
What about this trip or this party? You're saying trip?
Maybe she just doesn't want to come.
Maybe that's okay though, and maybe they're the smart ones. Maybe they're the ones.
Putting boundaries.
That said most of these Bravo relationships end terribly. Let's try to curate it a little bit more.
What about, okay, so some commenters were saying, you're saying this about Paige, but Audrey didn't come.
Okay, well, Audrey's not a TV star who's made a lot of money and gotten a lot of perks from being on Bravo.
You were talking about the fact that she's a Bravo person too.
Well, yeah, and so like.
And so the same you would say about like Gaston?
He's not paid by Bravo. Yeah. I mean,
see. That's your point.
And that's a choice. And Cameron's husband is an anesthesiologist.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be on TV.
I see.
But
you brought Taylor on TV.
I did. And she was great. She was a great sport.
She's now on the show.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes think about that like she came in as your girlfriend and kind of is her own?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you Bravo wouldn't have her around if they didn't think that she brought something. Yeah.
Did you think it was a good idea? Like, how'd you feel about Olivia leaving the show?
Well, there was just not that much more to beat that horse with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's nothing against Paige. And I'd like to say, like, I've never said a bad word about Paige. And either has anyone in the cast that I know of. I don't follow all these blogs and all these Instagram sites. It was just, and I'm not the only one who felt that way, by the way. And that goes for up and down the food chain who's associated with our show. Like we wish that we got a little more.
Because you know that equals views.
No. That equals authenticity. And like, how do you feel about each other? And like, we got it from Craig, God bless him. And he was, you know, and I thought it would be interesting if she went on like a girls' lunch with the girls on our show, known Craig, and be like, hey, tell us your opinion, because I never heard hers.
Got you.
I heard it on the podcast.
She had a moment at the pool party where she was sitting with the girls, but it wasn't really about her.
It wasn't about that, yeah. Which is fine, And you can't make someone be friends with anyone else.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Right.
But I don't know, like in the spirit of what we're doing here.
I got you.
Yeah.
And in terms of the breakup, obviously the fans are besides themselves. A lot of them say they saw it coming. A lot of them are flabbergasted. You and Austin seem to have seen it coming.
Austin way more than me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He had seen Craig in one of their live shows somewhere, like around the time where I guess it was disintegrating and he was despondent. And so I don't know. I mean, I thought it was, you know, he wanted to get married. I mean, there was that episode where they were at the animal farm or whatever. That was the one like interaction where I was like, oh, I know a little bit more than I knew, you know, before, you know, and like, again, that's kind of our job.
But what do you think about everyone, like the comments, you say you don't read them. A lot of people are saying that it's looked like Craig didn't like support her career because he didn't want her to be busy all the time. And it seemed like he wanted more of a housewife vibe.
Well, that's two separate needs. A lot of women would absolutely jump at that, right?
Yeah.
And
so they're on different pages.
They were on different pages. Nice one. No, so but saying that, like if a man or a woman in either scenario was like, I'm going to be really busy, I'm going to be traveling a lot, it's perfectly natural to be like, well, what does this mean for our relationship? That is like a conversation that's happening all over the world at any particular time, you know? So I don't think Craig has one misogynistic bone in his entire body.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
He's a traditionalist.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not like a crime, I don't think.
I mean, it seems this is less to do with you, but it does seem like she's saying now in places that he didn't actually, like, aside from that conversation, she didn't find him supportive of her career. But that's
I can't say how she thinks, but that seems a little flimsy to me. But whatever, it's fine.
Another thing that I loved about this season is you and Madison are like friends now.
I know, it's crazy.
Do you remember how you used to be?
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah. She rubbed me the wrong way big time.
I think I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, she was one of the people that you were like not nice to. And you're usually like nice to people, but you were always like, you were so mad at her for like Austin or something for many seasons. Yep.
Austin was the beginning of it. And then there were certain things maybe that y'all didn't see, things that were said. And it just was, it's okay though. We kind of decided if you can't beat them, join them kind of situation. And first of all, and secondly, I was like, you know, I pulled her aside and I was like, hey, like, I know like your personality is to be a little confrontational, a little sassy. I was like, but you're doing really well. You got this husband, you raising your kid. You don't have to be that way, you know? Like, I'm not saying that she was performing, but like, I was giving her friendly advice, like you're killing it. Like, go kill it. Don't worry about anyone else. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like, you think maybe she's softened a little bit.
I think so. Yeah.
Could be.
I do.
Not that you're taking credit for it.
I did too. No. I did too. I was like, and that was a part of like my experience going to Costa Rica and stuff. It was
ayahuasca.
It's like big time live and let live, you know?
Do you think after all this is she still with Gaston?
I guess so.
Do you have it all?
We reconciled at the reunion as much as I think she is willing to do. I'm very happy to report that. I would, you know, be very, very happy if she's happy. And for the rest of her life, that would make me happy.
You would never see yourselves getting back together?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so.
Why wasn't she the one in the end? Because you guys seemed like you found such a good one, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of my fault. And And when I look back at it, I cringe, you know, because just some of the stuff that I put her through.
You did.
Yeah, and like
What
of
was
course,
the,
of
like-
course, we had a lot of fun too. Just like wild nights where like she's like, I can't, you know, I can't keep up, and so I just put her in a taxi, you know, like I'll be back when I'm back, kind of thing, and just like selfish, wild man, not protective behavior.
Do you regret it?
Yes, but it was who I was at the time. I couldn't be reasoned with, honestly.
Yeah.
And I
She
thought
says
I
that-
thought it was all again an omelet breaking eggs. You know, I was like, whatever. And I hadn't been in a relationship in a very long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I mean, I fully admit, like, if the version of myself over the past year, who knows what would have happened, because I came close to popping the question. That's for sure.
Do you think if you came to her right now and said,
I don't think that would
I
be
did an
smart.
ayahuasca trip,
Yeah, I don't think that would be smart.
not smart, but is there a world in which you think she would say, okay,
I don't think so.
really?
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like
too
she'll
much
always have
fun.
like love for you.
I hope so. I hope so, because that's how I feel.
But do you think she let go of the anger?
I think time will bring that, and it usually does.
Do you have any jealousy about her and
No,
boyfriend?
just concern. You know, I want her to be happy, and I want her to be fulfilled, and all those things.
Yeah. Molly, did it go anywhere? We saw a little kiss,
Smooch, yeah.
a little smoochy.
Yeah, we had a couple fun times shortly after the finale. And then I went to Europe for a month and a half, you know, and you know, wasn't terribly communicative.
Why not Molly?
I don't know.
Everyone's looking.
I know.
She's into you. She's a
Yeah.
cutie. She's
Well-
funny. She's smart.
Well, but then when I came back, like, she was seeing someone else,
Mm.
and which is fine, right? And it just didn't materialize. But I think the world of her, and she's so funny, so self-deprecating,
Yeah,
so honest.
I love that.
All these things, yeah.
Sally was seen with Craig at like Nobu or something.
That was with that was a late dinner with his business manager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
No,
anything like
was
that.
nothing. I almost chimed in. I saw that post, and I was like, Shep, this isn't what you do. Stay the F out of it. And here I am stepping all in it with the Paige stuff. But I didn't say anything.
You seemed, I think it's not what you said, maybe it's how you said it. Like
Yeah.
it seemed like you were angry about it. If you would have explained it like you did here, like
Okay.
bravo. But I think at that after show, you seemed like heated about it.
I was at the moment, because I was just like, man, we've all taken our relationship lumps, but yeah, again, I'll reiterate, like, maybe they're the ones that are smarter than us all, you know.
I mean, at the end of the day, they broke up. So
Well, that's true. That's true. And you know, if you're a fan, I wonder what your feeling on that is. You
Yeah.
know? Like, I wish we'd have seen some stuff, or, you know, like some fissure, which can be repaired always, I guess. I don't know.
do you think Austin and Audrey are going to get married?
I don't know. Can't answer that.
Which one of you will get married first? You, Craig, or Austin?
Well, I'm not really. I'm sort of looking. I'm actively looking in a good way.
Yeah?
I'm optimistic.
Are you still on Raya?
Yeah, but I'm not very active on that.
So where are you looking?
Just going to visit friends, and so yeah. I mean, yeah. I meet people and organically if I can,
Like
and
hit on girls at bars,
friends of friends, or
Oh, like
something like that.
being introduced and stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, some of the latter or former.
What is your mom? Is she like, Sheppy, when am I gonna
No.
see some grandkids?
She doesn't really care.
No?
She's got 5 grandkids.
Oh, okay.
And she and my dad are getting older. Like, they can't help out the way that they did with my
Yeah.
nieces and nephew.
Uh-huh.
So it's okay. Everything's
They're
fine.
okay with it.
Yeah. My dad finds everything I do quite amusing.
But do you want kids one day?
Sure.
Oh, you do?
Sure.
Maybe you'll be Robert De Niro's age. Like, who knows?
I hope
He's
not that
living.
old. Yeah, I hope not that old.
He's out here.
It might be the best thing that you know, the marriage and kids might be exactly what I need almost. Like, talk about like a mechanism to keep you honest and keep you focused on something other than yourself and chasing your own whims and happiness. I think that's kind of a lovely thought to have. Of course, it's a lot of work. I'm not saying it's just like a state of mind, but I think it could be incredibly rewarding in so many different ways.
So you're looking.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, girls, Shep is single. He's a looking.
Okay, please, nobody come after me. I'm really just trying to be honest and say how I feel, okay?
Wait, come after you in what way?
I don't know. Whatever I
you're
said
just
over the
scared?
past hour. Yeah.
Just in general, disclaimer.
Yeah, don't attack me on
No.
the street, please.
No.
Like,
Do you ever get attacked in the
no. In fact, I almost get zero negative encounters. Everyone's really happy in person.
I feel like
to see me.
negativity just is online.
Yeah, it's just like it's like interviews with athletes. It's like when they say something real, everyone gets pissed off. But when they give you a canned answer, everyone gets pissed off that they're not saying something real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't win, you can't lose. What's the saying?
Can't win for losing.
No. But Shep just makes everything like more like fancier. You can't win for
I'm an
losing.
enhancer.
Thank you for coming on, Shep. I've
was
wanted
my
to talk to
pleasure.
you for years, honestly.
Yeah?
Like since fucking 20, what? Nah, what? Sally being on many shows? Paige new boyfriend? Oh, she wants to know what you think about.
I've only seen what you've seen, which is like pictures of like in a like a blurry picture of somebody holding hands. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that doesn't mean much to me. And but by the way, if she finds happiness, please find happiness.
I agree. I always say this, like when people get divorced or break up, I'm happy.
It's better.
It's
What,
good.
you want to continue a charade?
Yeah.
Even if it's for one person, it wasn't. For one person, maybe it was, you know?
In whatever, like non-TV, if people ending a relationship, it's probably because it fucking wasn't good.
And when you get blindsided, it's the worst. And Craig, and I think Craig felt blindsided, but he's handled it really, really classy. And I'm proud of him for that. And again, we all have a TV show to make. Who knows who's gonna say this and that? But again, that's fine. Like everybody needs to take a deep breath and realize that it's been 10 seasons now. Like I'm gonna say, I've got to put my opinion out there. Otherwise, we don't have anything to do. You know what I mean?
And what do you think? Are we gonna see you on TV for how many more years?
Oh my God. I don't know. As long as people want to watch. I mean, I think ratings were really good this year. So like, who am I to pull the rug out?
I love it.
Yeah.
It was a good season.
Good.
It was a very good season.
It was subtle, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was subtle with like moments, you know?
Real deep-seated moments.
And it ended really fast, but always with a soiree. We can't end a season of Southern Charm without a soiree.
And a makeout.
And a makeout. Would you call it that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was there tongue?
I mean, I think a little bit. Yeah.
Thank you, Shep. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.